Hello everybody and welcome to this Verbling class. My name is Amy and today's class is a reading class. So we're going to be reading an article entitled Living in the World's Most Affordable City. So if you're thinking you're not quite earning enough money and you want to find somewhere slightly cheaper to live, well, come and join this class to find out where the most affordable places to live are and practice your speaking and pronunciation with us this morning. So before we get started, let me let you know about a couple of pages that you might be interested in while you're having your time here on Verbally. The first one is my teacher Facebook page, and you can access this one by clicking on the link that you can see in the chat box. Our Facebook pages are generally used for kind of informal communication, as Facebook is for. So you can go ahead and see what kind of things I post on there. Sometimes some things after class that might interest you related to the topics. Sometimes just fun stuff I find throughout the week. You can write me a message or leave me a comment there if you would like to. So check that one out. And the other page that you will probably find useful is my Verbling teacher page. So this one here is what you can use to find out about my class schedule, so which classes are coming up with me in the next week or so, and what they're going to be about and what level they are. You can also see when my calendar has space for private tutoring slots. So if you're interested in private tutoring, it can be a good way to really focus on something specific that you want to improve on, as opposed to just a general class atmosphere. You can have one-on-one attention and really make more progress probably that way. So check out my schedule. The other thing that could be handy for you is the blue follow button, which you can click if you'd like to be automatically notified of any classes that are coming up with me. And you can also write me a message. If you've got any questions and you want to get in touch with me for any reason, do write me a message using the messaging system, which is working really well. So go ahead and see what you think about those pages, and if you have any questions, well, do get in touch with me. Okay, so as I said before, today's class is a reading and pronunciation class primarily, and our topic is the world's most affordable cities. So let's see who we've got coming to share this class with us today. First of all, we have Geordie. Hello, Geordie. Oh, are you there? I wonder. Hello, Geordie, I can't hear you. If you got your sound and microphone settings connected? No microphone. All right, no problem. Well, it's going to be difficult for you to practice your reading if you have no microphone. Can you maybe have a look for one in the next few minutes? I'll come back to you in a moment. All right, so who else do we have here? We have Alan. Hello, Alan.
Hello, Amy. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Alan. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
How is the drumming going?
I'm kind of injured in my arm.
Oh no, how did you injure yourself?
Doing workout in the
Oh,
gym,
working out.
lifting weight. Yes.
Oh no, so you can't do any drumming right now?
No, not for now.
Oh, how long will it take to get better, do you think? Have you been to see the doctor?
Not yet. It's not so.
Not serious.
Not serious. Yes.
All right, well, oh, that's unfortunate. But anyway, just rest up and hopefully you'll be back to drumming soon.
I hope so.
All right, well, welcome to the class. We also have Raphael. How are you doing, Raphael?
Hi, Amy. I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Yep, I'm great, thank you. Tell me about your day today. What did you do?
I work a lot.
You
I'm
always work
stressed.
a lot.
Yes, I got stressed a lot, and
Oh.
yeah, the same as always. But
Same
I'm
as
fine,
always.
thank you.
All right,
Yes.
that's good. I watched a really interesting. Have you guys ever seen a TED Talk or ever heard of TED Talks? I'll type that
I
into the chat box.
I watch it some
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, they're really good way to practice your English, and I suppose in some ways they're better than YouTube videos because they're proper presentation, so you know the English is going to be perfect. But I watched a really interesting one the other day on stress, and it kind of changed my opinion on stress, Raphael. So maybe if I can find the link, I'll send that to you. It was quite cool, actually, about this lady who studied stress and how actually it kind of benefits us more than we realise. And if you remember that while you're getting stressed, it actually helps quite a bit. Since I watched the video, I've noticed my attitude has changed towards stress, so maybe I will see if I can find that link for you.
Okay,
All
so is
right.
it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's a positive video.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not very long. I think it's like 10 minutes, maybe 15. It's just a bit long to use in a class, which is why I haven't done a class on that. But I might see if I can look that up anyway and post it on Facebook, so keep an eye out.
Okay, thanks.
Alright guys, so I don't know who's going to be joining us today, but we're going to get started. We've got an article about the world's most affordable cities, and what I would like you to concentrate on today is not only your pronunciation of your words, but just in reading as fluently and smoothly as you can, so that you can put some intonation into your reading and make sure that the meaning is coming through your voice as well as through the words as much as you can. So that's your task for today, everybody. And if you want to load the article, click on that link. Otherwise, do I need to say it? We'll do this like we always do. Let me see. Just make sure that everyone can see. And there's such a great picture here. I love that picture of a flock of birds in Mumbai. Okay, so you can see the title, Living in the World's Most Affordable Cities. And we're going to learn about I guess the most affordable, the cheapest. I'm guessing it takes more into account than things just being cheap. We're going to see as we read. So, I'm going to give you slightly bigger slots today, guys, because this isn't too difficult. So you can get your teeth into a bit of a chunk before I stop you. And please make sure that if you have a pen handy, you can note down any words that you don't understand as we go along, and it makes it a bit more efficient when I come to ask you. And don't be shy about asking about words that you think you should know, because there's always some words, you know, that slip out of our minds, and I'm sure that somebody else is probably thinking the same. So, who am I going to get to? Oh, I better say a quick hi to David. Hi, David.
Teacher,
How are you today?
I'm doing well. And how are you?
Excellent. I'm doing great, thank you, David. Good to see you. Okay, so guys, we're going to get started. I'm going to let me just see if my computer's working today. Excellent. Alan, I'm going to get you to start, please, if you could read from Moving Overseas.
Okay. Moving overseas can seem like a costly proposition, at least with all the upfront expenses. But relocating to some cities can actually save you money in the long haul. According to March 2014 Worldwide Cost of Living Index, completed twice a year by the Economist Intelligence Unit, affordable cities can be found on almost every continent. The report compares prices of 160 goods and services from cars to bread to wine across 131 cities. For reasons of geographical diversity, as well as to include cities whose international communities, career opportunities, and level of safety would particularly appeal to expats, we focused on what it would be like to live in 5 of the 10 cheapest cities on the Economist Index. The other 5 not detailed below were Karachi, New Delhi, Damascus, Algiers, and Riyadh.
Yep, great. All right, thank you, Alan. Really lovely reading. Good introduction. Okay, so you didn't have to worry about too many tricky words, and your fluency was lovely. So, well done for the expression, because sometimes when you're reading something for the first time, it's pretty difficult to get the meaning to come across. So, Alan's given us a great start. Just take it slowly, guys, so that you've got plenty of time to process what you're reading as well. I haven't really got many comments about words, except for this city here is pronounced in English anyway, Riyadh.
Riyadh.
Yeah. So, these 5 cities, I'm guessing, I think these 2 are in India, Damascus is in Syria, Algiers is in Algeria, and Riyadh is in Saudi Arabia. So, interesting places that you might not automatically think of as being cheap, but they're the top 10, and we're going to read about the top 5. So, thank you, Alan. Now, before we continue, I'll just say a hi to who else we've got today. So, a few students have joined us. So, hello to Eduardo.
Hello, sorry for being late.
No problem, Eduardo. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. We're doing some reading today, and what I've been saying to everybody, guys, who have just arrived, is I really wanted you to focus on your intonation today. So not only the words, but really try to get the meaning to come across while you're reading. Don't go too fast so that you can try and understand what you're saying, and therefore the meaning comes across in your voice. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Just say hi to Fabio.
Hello. Hello, Miss.
Hello, Fabio.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Have I met you before?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't remember, but it's lovely to meet you. I'm Amy. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Oh, right. Well, welcome. I like the look of your picture. Is that picture taken in Brazil?
What?
Is your photo taken in Brazil?
Oh, I can understand. Sorry.
The photo that you have as your picture for Verbling is a picture of you, I think. And in the background, yeah?
Yes.
Is that Brazil?
Yes.
Is it your city, or where are you?
No, it's friend's city.
Ah, okay. All
Yeah,
right, you
but
went to
here in
visit
Brazil.
them. Excellent. Well, it's good to meet you, Fabio. I always like looking at the pictures that you guys choose. I'm wondering why you choose the particular pictures that you do. So good to meet you. And we'll also say hello to Luor. If he's there.
Hello.
Hi, Luor. Can you hear me okay? I wonder if your sound is... This connection's not too good today with you. Because I can't hear you right now. Okay, Luor, I'm welcoming you to the class, but hopefully you can just... Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, there
okay.
you are. That sounds better. I can hear you now. All right, well, welcome. We're going to continue reading. And Alan started us off. We've gone through the introduction. Are there any words in there, guys, that we don't understand?
Yes. What's the meaning of expats?
Expats. Good question. Anyone know? What does expats mean? Does anyone know what it's short for? All right, it's short for expatriates, and basically
Foreigner.
it means, yeah, exactly.
I know.
It basically means, well, you're correct. It means people who are living in a country which is not their country, right? They've moved and lived somewhere in a different country.
Okay.
So are any of you guys expats? Are you any of you living in a country that you were not born in? No? Everyone's in their native countries. All right. Let's continue. Oh, are there any other words before we carry on?
Just a silly grammar question for me.
Yeah.
because I hate prepositions of place because I always make mistakes trying to speak correctly. Affordable cities can be found on almost every continent.
Mm-hmm.
Is that on right in the statement because it refers inside the continent? So isn't in more suitable for this statement or no?
Weirdly, Raphael, when we talk about continents, for some reason we do use the preposition on. I'm not sure why that is. I don't think it has any logic to it because we say in a country. We would never say on a country. But I suppose it's got something to do with the fact that a continent is like a big slab of land. And it's almost like if you imagine the globe and divide it into pieces. For some reason, yeah, this is correct. We always use on a continent. You can say in as well. But I think this is probably the most natural way of saying it here. I can't give you a logical explanation for that. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
It's just one of those irritating grammar things. All right. Let's read from Mumbai, India. So this is apparently the most affordable city to live in out of 131. Okay, David, could you read for us, please?
Yes. Mumbai, India. Rank 131 out of 131. The most affordable city in the Economist Report, India's most populated city, is also one of its most diverse. When the Suez Canal was built in 1869, making Mumbai one of India's primary trading ports, the city's population exploded, particularly with merchants and settlers from Europe and Asia, as well as becoming a melting pot of different cultures. The metropolis developed into an epicenter for the opportunity, particularly in business and in the film and fashion industries.
All right, David, just one moment. That was great reading, but I'm just struggling a little bit to hear you. Is there any chance that you could move a bit closer to the microphone?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And I'll get you to read the next paragraph as well.
The next relate article living in Mumbai. If you have the drive and the talent, you can come from anywhere in the country or the world and make a name for yourself in Mumbai, said Kama von Jagabani Dawan, Mumbai native and founder travel blog Momapod. As a result, the city has a very work hard, play hard mentality. Ron Johnny Dawan said, with a vibrant social scene centered around the newest velvet rope clubs and trendy bars. The social scene can be enjoyed relatively cheaply too. Movie tickets and cocktails cost half as much as they do in New York City and London, according to international price database Extend.
Thank you, David. Great reading. Okay, so your pausing in between the phrases and the sentences is really great, so I can easily understand you. That's wonderful. A few little words. So this one here is vibrant.
Vibrant.
Yep. This one is metropolis.
Metropolis.
Yeah. And apart from that, it was wonderful. Well done. Does anyone have any questions, though, about vocabulary or phrases or grammar or anything, guys? No? All right, who can tell me what the general gist is? What kind of a city is Mumbai?
Is the most populated city in India.
Yep, absolutely. And why is it a good place to live, David?
Yeah, I think before the name is Mumbai. Now it's no, sorry. Why it is good living there? Because you can found very different cultures, very different business. It's a trading port. It's very interesting,
Yeah, absolutely.
and the things are cheaper than other places like other cities in USA or in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. So it kind of offers things that you can get in most cities, but more cheaply and easily. So sounds quite cool. All right, I'll just say a quick hello to Jose. Are you there, Jose? No? Okay, well, welcome, and if I can talk to you later on, I will. All right, Eduardo, I'm going to move down here, and if you could continue reading, please, from other aspects.
Okay. Other aspects of living in Mumbai are also relatively affordable. Public transportation and taxes run one-tenth the price of their New York or London counterparts, with an 8 kilometers taxi ride costing just 161 Indian rupees, the equivalent of two $2.70 or £1 and 59
Pence.
pence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Service is cheap too. For under $1,000, 60,000 Indian rupees, or £600 a month, you can hire a staff of a cook, a housekeeper, and a chauffeur, said Boyani Dhawan.
Keep going.
Despite Mumbai being listed as the world's most affordable city, many residents said they feel the housing costs can be prohibitively expensive. Some younger residents cannot afford to move out of their own despite good salaries. As a result, many suburban areas which were considered far-flung have now become thickly populated, said Deepak Krishan, native resident and owner of Mumbai Magic Tours. In particular, the city has expanded to the north, where more affordable modern high-rise apartment complexes have emerged, complete with gyms and swimming pools.
Thank you. Well done, Eduardo. All right. Great intonation, great pauses, and great expression. Just a few little words that caught you out slightly. So let's go through them. I'll try and find them in the right order. Here we go. This one here is relatively.
Relatively.
That's better. Yep. This one here is pronounced. I'm going to type you two words into the chat box, okay? Because the first one, when you said it, it sounded like the first word you can see, and it should be taxis. Taxis.
Taxes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
like
the problem.
Taxes. Okay.
Yeah. So the first one is taxes. The second one is taxis.
Taxes and taxes.
Much better. Well done. All right. When you have like a measurement followed by a noun, so it's kind of it's being used as an adjective, right? The taxi ride is 8 kilometers long. For some reason, although we have a number which is above 1, so it technically is like a plural, we don't say 8 kilometers taxi ride. We say 8 kilometer taxi ride because we've got the taxi ride coming afterwards, and this applies to lots of different measurements. So if you've got a number but then it's an adjective for something, you don't use the plural, you don't use the s. So it should be 8 kilometer taxi ride.
Okay, like with an iPhone, 8 and kilometry. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well done with all these numbers that you had to deal with.
Yeah.
You read them
It's
perfectly.
it's pence in UK. It's pence.
Pence, yeah. Or sometimes
Okay.
we just say p because we can't, like, it's sort of the letter. But in general, what we'll say for these numbers is not $2.70, although that is correct. Generally, you'll hear people say $2.70, right? Or £1.59.
Okay.
So it's just a bit easier, and it's laziness, but that's what you'll hear. Oh, right. Apart from that, that was great, Eduardo. Are there any questions, guys, about vocab or grammar? What I would like to ask you is, what does this
What
sentence
is
here mean?
far
Yeah.
from?
Aha, there you go.
Flung.
I knew someone
Yeah.
was going to ask about this. Does anyone know what far-flung means, or can anyone interpret this sentence in their own words? Have a guess, if
According
you
to
like.
yes, according to the context, I guess far from means as remote area.
Yep, absolutely, exactly right, Law. So if something is far-flung, from the verb to fling, does anyone know what to fling is?
No.
It's sort of like to throw in a careless way, right? Fling your clothes on the floor. It means to chuck your clothes on the floor, to throw them on the floor. So it's as if some suburban areas were thrown far away. And it means remote-ish, remote, sort of far away. Yeah. So therefore, even though these suburban areas are well outside the city centre, they're very, very popular because they're slightly cheaper. Yeah? Okay. Next paragraph, and it's Luo's turn, please, in South Mumbai.
Yes. In South Mumbai, apartment buildings are smaller, only 3 to 6 stories, with many built in the Victorian, British, Raya or Art Deco styles. In fact, Mumbai has the world's largest concentration of the Art Deco buildings outside of Miami. In West Mumbai, meanwhile, the suburb of Bandra attracts Bollywood movie stars and business owners to its individual bungalows. In Mumbai, 85 square meters is 6,500 rupees, equal to 660. I don't know how to say this.
Pounds.
Pounds. Yes, 660 pounds, or $1,105.
Well done. Well done. All right, so these numbers are good practice, guys. Law, I think you accidentally did this, but actually this is 65,500, yeah?
Oh, yes.
Or 65,500, and a half thousand rupees. All right. So, just looking at what we've read about Mumbai, does anyone have any comparisons to make between their own city that they live in? Do we all live in cities, or does anyone live here in the countryside? And I want to know, are there similarities between Mumbai and your city, for example? Are there places outside the city quite a long way away that are really popular because they're cheaper? Or do most people live right in the city centre? Let's ask Law, where do you live? Remind me, please.
I'm living in Chengdu.
Okay, that's a big city. Yeah?
Yeah, it's quite a big city. The fourth biggest city in China.
Yeah. So what's it like?
I can say you cannot expect living in suburb is cheaper than living in downtown, because the suburb is a new area, developing area, and has more high skyscrapers. So maybe the property prices are more higher than in downtown, because downtown is a little bit run down. I mean.
Oh, okay, so in other words, it's like the opposite, right? It's actually cheaper to live in the center.
Yeah. So to an extent, yeah.
All right. Great word there, rundown. I'm typing that in the chat box. Let's ask Alan. Alan, do you live in the city?
No,
Do you live in what kind of
it's,
place do you live?
it's a small state. It's almost the smallest state in my country.
All right, and have you ever lived in one of the big cities, or have you always lived there?
Mm, um, I live in other states, but we're also that kind of big cities.
And can you describe, are the cities similar to what it sounds like Mumbai is, or are they different in some way, like Chengdu in China?
So sorry. Can you repeat?
Yeah, I just want to know, does the cities that are in your country, are they similar to Mumbai that we just read about? Or are there differences? Like Luo just explained there's a difference between Mumbai and the city he lives in.
Mumbai reminds me one of the city I used to live called
Yeah.
Querétaro. Well, state, not city.
Yeah.
Querétaro is a state that recently have a lot of international investment.
Mhm.
I think it's like the third in the world with most international investment,
Mhm.
and that has bring a lot of development in the city. Infrastructure,
Yeah.
public spaces, and so on. And well, kind remind me Mumbai, Querétaro, because uh, this state is growing very fast, and people from the whole country is moving to Querétaro.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's growing. I can't remember exactly the numbers, but I think that it's an average of 3 to 5 families moving each day.
Wow, that's a lot. Is it getting more expensive as more people move there?
It's
Or you
not
don't know?
that expensive, but I don't know, perhaps for now or some places, because now there are people start to build new, departments, luxury
Yeah.
departments,
Mhm.
but there is also a side of uh, normal houses.
So an area where the houses are slightly more affordable.
Yes.
Oh, okay, interesting. It's interesting how some cities are not popular and then suddenly they become really popular and everybody moves there. Seems to happen sometimes in lots of places. Well, thank you for sharing, Alan.
You're welcome.
All right, let's read a bit about Kathmandu. So this is now we're going to Nepal, and it must be Luo. You only read a short part, so we'll get you to read another couple of paragraphs if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. Kathmandu, Nepal, ranked 127 out of 131 as a gateway to the Himalaya mountains. Kathmandu has a very outdoor-oriented culture. Not everyone is a Sherpa, but even office workers will often leave their desks to work outside in the sun. When not working, locals enjoy the always growing restaurant scene or hanging out at the bars. By law, bars must close at midnight, so nightlife here gets started earlier.
Keep going, one more paragraph.
Alright. Related article: Find peace in Kathmandu. Housing and the basics contribute to Kathmandu's affordability. Bread costs 36 Nepali rupees, equal to 37 pence, or
Cents.
cents, or 22 pence.
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 Yeah.
For two people. A full restaurant lunch costs about 385 rupees, equal to $4 or £2.39. And a liter of gas costs 141 rupees, equal to $1.50 or 89 pence, and an average of 34,000 rupees, equal to $300 or 250 pounds a month. Rent for 85 square meters house is particularly affordable.
Lord, well done. You just read all
thank
those
you.
numbers out perfectly, and that was tricky. Excellent. Couldn't have done it better myself. Just one tiny comment, just because this is a general comment. We have, obviously in English, when we have the numbers, for example, we have sometimes confusion between, say, 50 and 15. And because we're speaking fast, it's not often easy to hear the N at the end of 15, right? But the way that native speakers distinguish between those two is not the end of the word, it's the emphasis between the syllables. So if you're saying 50, you put the emphasis on the fifth. If you're saying 15, you put the emphasis on the teen. And if you follow those rules, you'll never be misunderstood, okay? So in this case, it's 215 pounds. But if it was that, it would be 250 pounds. And this applies to all the teen T numbers. So if you want to get your numbers perfect and not have confusion, then that's the rule to follow, guys. Okay, any questions about vocab or what Luo just read? No? Alright, generally quite straightforward.
I have a question. What is Sherpa? Sherpa.
Okay,
Not
does anyone...
everyone is a Sherpa.
Yeah, can anyone explain what a Sherpa is?
Yes, it's a person.
It is a person. What kind of person?
Yeah, who helps people who are going to the Himalaya, to the mountains, to climb the mountain. It's like the guide who helps you to
Well, I see. Okay.
the summit or the peak of the mountain. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes, I can remember. In Chinese, we have we call it as 雪巴, so it's similar. I can remember. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
right. All right. Eduardo, just a note. The word is climb, not clean. Okay, climb.
Yeah. Okay.
But apart from that, perfect description of a Sherpa. We've got the Chinese translation too. All right, let's change the page. And it's Raphael's turn to read from Yet Kathmandu, please.
Yet Kathmandu does not have a glut of high-rise apartment buildings, which is what often makes housing affordable in other regions. Instead, most residents live in single-family houses with more space and gardens. The older parts of the city, such as the districts of Tamil and Assam, have traditional architecture marked by detailed wood and stonework. Newer areas like Kalamati have boxier, simpler homes. The wealthiest residents and foreigners tend to live in the new, gated communities popping up on the outskirts of the city and in the surrounding Kathmandu Valley. Should I
Keep
continue?
going.
The city caters to tourist and Western tastes, which can make it an expensive place to live for those who are not careful. If you buy your food in the local markets, you may find that the prices are higher than in the city. If you buy your food in the local markets, you may find that the prices are higher than in the city. If you buy your food in the local markets, you may find that the prices are higher than in the city. eat out in local eateries, and basically live like a Nepali. Kathmandu is very affordable, said Zelka Shah, who recently moved to the city from Croatia and writes the Roofs of Kathmandu blog. On the other hand, if you like to treat yourself to the typical Western food bought in grocery stores and eat in Western-type restaurants, it's quite pricey.
Great, Raphael. Really great reading. Well done. Lovely intonation and expression, and I could understand exactly what you were saying. So there was only a few little things. Let me see where they are now. Traditional architecture. There we go. All right, so this word here is, yeah, architecture.
Okay, fine.
And because traditional comes before, it kind of combines nicely because you've got a consonant followed by a vowel, so it's traditional architecture.
Is it glut or glut?
What word are you talking about, Raphael?
Yet Kathmandu does not have a glut or glut. I don't know exactly.
Oh, okay, here, sorry. A glut, a glut.
Okay.
Yeah, what is a glut? Can anyone explain that word?
I'm thinking in food when I hear this word.
You think of food?
Yeah,
Yeah,
when you
okay.
are full of food, it's like glad.
That's true. That is one meaning. However, in this case, it actually means something else, the other meaning of this word. But that's correct, Eduardo. In this case, it means that there's a huge excess of something. But because it's saying it does not have a glut, it's saying it does not have a huge excess of high-rise apartment buildings. Okay? Raphael, I had another couple of things to mention to you. This little phrase here, you pronounced each word correctly. That is just one that you could improve on because we've got lots of joining up stuff. So first of all, when we've got the with a vowel, you need to pronounce it the. So on the outskirts of the city.
On the outskirts of the city.
Yeah, that's better. Perfect. And the last one was caters. The city caters to tourists.
Caters?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we know what caters means?
No.
No? Does anyone know what catering is?
Accommodate.
Sorry, Law?
Accommodate to feed there.
Yeah. Okay, exactly. So it's like to accommodate something. In this particular context, yes, the city is accommodating to tourists. It is welcoming. It looks after them, sort of thing. Generally, yes, Carolina, thank you. That's correct. So it means that you make food for somebody's event, for big groups of people, if you use the word catering. Similar idea. Okay, any other questions?
What's the meaning of boxier?
Boxier. This is like the writer kind of making up a word. Basically, it means that it's like a box. More like a box. We use this suffix to mean more something. So it's like hotter or cooler, but here he's put boxier because you can't say boxer because that's a different word, but he means more like boxes, basically. Does that make sense, Alan?
Okay.
So the homes look more like boxes, you know, square and boring. All right.
Thanks.
Okay, so Kathmandu sounds like it's pretty different to Mumbai to me. Let's ask who hasn't spoken much yet. Let's ask David. David, if you had to choose Would you prefer to live in Mumbai or Kathmandu?
I think Mumbai because I think Kathmandu is very cold, yeah, because it's near to the Himalayas.
Yeah,
And
the
everything.
Himalayas. Hmm?
I think it's cooler like this.
Fair enough. That's a perfectly good reason to not live in Kathmandu. How about Raphael? Where would you pick? Kathmandu or Mumbai?
Kathmandu,
Why?
because as I've seen, the life is more simple, more common. The city is more peaceful and probably less pollution and better public service. And I think life would I think life would be more more easy to live. Not it would be easier, or more, I don't know,
Maybe less
pleasant.
stressful? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I think I have to agree with you there, Raphael. If I had to pick, I'd probably pick Kathmandu too, because Mumbai just is so busy. I don't like busy stuff too much. All right. Let's continue, and I'll just say hello to Diana or Carolina or both. Hello.
Hello, teacher. Are both Diana Carolina?
Is that your name with two parts, or is it two people?
Excuse me, teacher.
Is it your name has two parts? Your name is Diana Carolina?
Oh yes, yes.
Oh,
it is.
right. Well, welcome to the class. And
Thank you.
are you following what we're saying? Have you been listening?
I just entered, but I don't know how. I don't know much. I don't know too much. What are you talking about?
No
but,
problem.
but I'm listening.
All right. Well, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you wouldn't mind, is to read. So we're just reading about the world's most affordable cities, so the cheapest cities to live in. And we've so far read about Mumbai in India and Kathmandu in Nepal, and now we're going to read about Panama City. If you wouldn't mind, could you read this paragraph for us, please?
Okay. Expats around the world are down to the Central American country for its mild climate and affordability. And even though residents often have 6-day work weeks, they know how to relax when the time is right. Close to paydays, bars and clubs come alive with parties, said Alex Hardy, an American expat who teaches in Panama City. Casco Viejo and Calle Uruguay are favorite nightlife areas for their variety of venues, from backpacker bars to upscale lounges. The drinks come cheap too, about $2 for a beer and $9 for a cocktail, compared to $7 and $14 respectively in New York. Panama's official currency is the US dollar, so it is called the Balboa instead of dollar.
Thank you. Could you read one more paragraph, please?
Okay, related article. In search of pirates in Panama. A construction boom a few years ago has left the city with modern high-rise apartment complexes scattered among traditional older buildings. Newer apartment buildings tend to be big on amenities and width, but small on space. Hardy said, apartments in older, smaller buildings tend to be far more spacious, with a glut of unoccupied high-rise housing. Rental costs remain reasonable in most parts of the city, including El Cangrejo in the center. Housing runs about $2,500 per month for 85 sqm.
Square meters. Square meters.
Square meters, what is that?
SQM is short for square meters.
Okay.
So that means the same as meters squared, which is M with a 2, but I can't do the little 2 here. Do you know what it's talking about?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Now I got it.
Excellent. All right.
Do I continue?
No, we're going to pause there. That was great reading. Well done. Just let me talk to you about a few words if you just want to repeat them after me. So this one here is climate.
Climate.
Yes, that's better. And this one is favorite.
Favorite.
Yeah. This one here is scattered.
Scattered.
And last one, reasonable.
Reasonable.
Perfect. Well done. Excellent reading. Well done. Okay, let's ask everybody if we have any questions. Any questions about any vocab, guys, or grammar?
What about newer? It is a word, newer? Like from new?
Whereabouts is it? Whereabouts is it?
In the second paragraph, second line, at the end.
Here we go. Yeah, this is a word. It's the opposite of older.
Okay.
It means more new, right? That we
Right.
don't say more new, we say newer. Yeah. Anyone know what this word here is? What's it meaning, or can guess perhaps by the context?
I think it's a luxury hotel. Ritz.
It is. Well
Yeah.
done, Law. Okay, the Ritz, yeah, is very famous. It's a luxury hotel, and Ritz, yeah, is literally luxury. That's what it's referring to. All right. So, apart from any more questions, does Panama City sound like a cool place to live for anybody? Anyone feel like moving there?
Actually, I live here. I live in Colombia, so maybe I can travel for a couple of days to Panama.
Really? I did not know that, David. Well, tell us, what's it like? What do you like about it?
Okay, at the beginning, Panama and Colombia were the same country, but Panama want to depend on Colombia because they want to build the Panama Canal that is connect the Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean. So they depend from here, from Colombia. But they have a different money. They have dollar, and we have pesos colombianos, Colombian pesos. I would like to.
Thank you, David. If you can speak a little bit closer to the mic, I'm still struggling a little bit, but I think I caught most of that. Would you agree that it's quite an affordable place to live?
For people from Colombia, is not cheap and also affordable because our currency is very poor.
Weak. Your currency is weak. Yeah.
Weak against the dollar. So it's like 2,000 pesos for $1, and it's expensive. Maybe for Europe or for USA, cheap.
All right. So it depends on where you're coming from, really.
Yeah, depends on the power of your currency.
All right. And what about the work? Yeah. Is it easy to find a job there? Is it easy to find a job there, David?
Where in Panama?
Yeah.
I think you have good opportunities if you speak English because there are a lot of commerce for the canal. You can find a good job there.
All right. Well, if anyone wants to move to Panama, they can talk to David after class, and he will tell you everything you need to know. All right. Thank you, David. Okay. So let's see if we can just read a little bit more before we finish. We'll just read this last bit about Panama. So, Alan, if you could read for us again from recent public projects, please.
Sure. Recent public projects, including the revitalization of the shoreline of Avenue Balboa in the Caledonia Barrio neighborhood, are giving the city an added energy. The Avenue Balboa area now has a promenade, park and activity center, attracting residents from around the city on sunny days. It's a game changer for the city, with a legacy that will enrich people forever, said Vicky Mary Stolzen, author of the Bachelor chapters, who recently moved full-time to the neighborhood from Seattle. I love living across the street.
Keep going, Alan.
Okay. Locals also like how accessible the city and its neighboring areas are with taxis and public transportation. Taxis are cheap and plentiful, and trips on the Metrobus within the city are 25 cents. Hardy said, I can get to the cooler mountains or Caribbean beaches with clear water within 2 hours.
Great, well done. Excellent reading. Okay, just one thing at the beginning. Just be careful with the difference between of and off. Of, off.
Off.
So this one here, if you imagine that it's spelt like this, O-V, that's how it's pronounced, okay? Of. Yeah, and then this one has a real lot of air coming out between your teeth and lips, so it's off.
Off.
Yeah, that's much better. Well done.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any questions about vocabulary?
Yes, promenade or promenade or
Yeah, you can say it either way, promenade or promenade. What is it, though? Anyone know?
Like an earning?
Like a what, sorry?
Earning.
An awning. Can you give me a bit more of a description? What does it look like?
When you earn money from something. I don't know.
I'm not sure if you're on the right lines or not, Alan. Basically, a promenade is like a walkway, right? It's like a big open, a big wide path that usually is beside something, like beside the sea or beside a river or beside a park, or and it's a big area where people can walk or run, or kids can ride their bikes or whatever. You can walk up and down it and look to see what's around you. Is that clear?
like a boardwalk
A boardwalk.
next to the sea? Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, exactly. But it doesn't have to be made of board. It could be concrete, yeah. But it's the same type of thing.
Okay.
Oh, right. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. If you scroll up a little bit, we can see the Panama City is tied with Bucharest. But if you scroll down, you can find the Bucharest is tied with Panama. So what is tied stand for?
Ah, I see what you mean. Here, right?
Tied with Bucharest.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
This is to do with the ranking law. So basically, if in some kind of a competition or a ranking where you're putting things in a certain order, if something is tied, it's the same as, for example, a football match. Both teams score 1 goal. That's a tie, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Tie.
And it's the same thing. So they both are number 124.
Very close means yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Good question.
Thank you.
No worries. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to have to finish off now. I've got another class coming right up. If you want to practice your speaking, we've got a great topic. but you've done really well. Some superb reading from all of you today, so congratulations. You can feel very good about yourselves. I'll let you go to another class or to bed or wherever you're going next, and I hope to see you all again soon. So take care, guys.
Bye,
Thank
Take
teacher.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.